Hello everyone, I am Professor S.N. Mane, Assistant Professor KK College of Agriculture, Engineering and Technology, Department of Processing and Food Engineering. Today we will learn about the maturation standards and the indices of different fruits and vegetables. So first of all, we will see some introduction about the maturity standards. So maturity is very much essential to harvest a good quality fruits and vegetables because it affects the storage life and marketability of different fruits and vegetables. So at proper maturity stage, we have to harvest our commodity so that we can maintain the quality of our commodity. As we know that the quality of any commodity, it may be fruits or vegetable, it doesn't get improved after their harvesting. Whatever quality we want, that is get obtained before their harvesting, okay, during the growing period. So that after the harvesting, just we have to maintain its quality at the different stages of the commodity up to the consumption. Now, if what happened, suppose we have harvested the commodity before the maturity, means at immature stage, it will give the erratic ripening to that commodity as well as the poor quality of our produce. If it is harvested at the post maturity stage, then what happened in that condition, there may be the chances of their decaying or susceptibility to the growth of different microorganisms, so that ultimately there is resulted into the poor quality of that produce and we get the lower market price. So that at the proper maturity stage, we have to harvest our commodity. Now there are different criteria, on that basis we are deciding their harvesting stage. Now first harvesting criteria is the visual criteria. Again, this visual criteria, it is divided into the number of types, in which first one is the skin color. On the basis of their skin color of fruits or vegetables, we are deciding the harvesting stage. Means during the maturity, this particular color, in case of certain vegetables or the fruits, it starts to become yellowish in color or reddish in color. So this is the change regarding the skin color of that commodity. So it is the nothing but a indicator of ripeness in the fruits or vegetables, and that is very crude method for deciding the harvesting criteria of that commodity. Then see here in this picture, tomato has shown during their maturity, it turns to become reddish in color from green color. Then ground color, that is the second harvesting criteria, comes under the visual criteria. Now this is very inconspicuous in most of the fruits, but it is fairly good indicator of the properly mature fruit. And this, it is mostly applied for the red apple varieties. This kind of ground color indication, it is only used for the red apple varieties. This ground color, it is visible between the red strip and some white color in nature. See here, there are strips of red color and white color. So it is called as a ground color. And this is occurs at the stem end. So that is the one of the indication for the deciding maturity of the red apple varieties. The next one is the seed color. As we know that number of fruits and vegetables, it having seeds. So in the papaya, then apples and pears, we can judge the ripeness of that commodity on the basis of their seed color. When these commodities are in unripe condition or before maturity, it has some whitish in color. As it starts to mature or become ripen in nature, then at that time it becomes brown in color or somewhat reddish in color. So these are some examples or the pictures of this papaya fruit has given here. See, papaya, when it is in unripe condition, it has whitish seeds. As it becomes ripened, it has some blackish or the brownish seeds. So that is the indication for the visual criteria of deciding maturity stage. Now next one is the leaf and peduncle color. This kind of visual criteria, it is mostly followed for the jackfruit. See here, this in this picture, jackfruit along with its leaf, greenish leaf color, and that fruit, it is also green in color. Okay, but it gets, when fully matured, in that condition, their leaf and peduncle color. Peduncle means it is the stem between this twig and your main fruit. So it starts to become brown in color, or the yellowish in color. So that is the indication of their maturity. Then next criteria is the size. Now these kind of criteria, it is mostly used for the avocado fruit, and in that avocado industry or the avocado processing, here minimum fruit weight and the diameter, it is selected for the commercial variety in the conjunction with their picking dates. Means this is the criteria for deciding their maturity, or it is at the proper maturity stage when its fruit weight is minimum and diameter is also in that range. Then some of the another commodities in which fullness of finger with the size, it is the standard practice to determine the proper harvesting stage of banana. See, in the banana, individual fruit we call as a finger. So their fullness of finger is important, and that is the indicator for the maturity in that banana. Okay, and minimum weight and diameter, it is selected as a criteria for the avocado fruit. Then shape. Now from the size, we come to the shape point. See here, in case of banana, their angularity of banana, then full checks of mango, then in cruciferous commodity, their compactness is important. These are some shape factors for deciding the maturity of these commodities. See here, in banana has shown here, their angularity has given. Then drying of leaves. Most of the bulb commodities like potato, onion, garlic, in these commodities, their leaf senescence, it is the one of the most indication for the harvesting stage. Okay, drying of leaves, it occurs at that stage. You can say it comes to for harvesting. So see here in this picture has shown when your commodity of onion, it is at the pre-maturity stage, and after maturity, their leaves becomes dry. Then next criteria is the physical criteria. In physical criteria, there are again, it is classified into the dropping of fruits from tree, then fruit firmness, tenderness of the commodities, and the specific gravity and the juice content. Now we will see the first physical factor, that is dropping of the fruits from the tree. This criteria, it is generally used for the mango fruit. Here in this fruit, most of the commodities which are starts to ripen, it begins to fall naturally from the tree, and it is called as a tupka stage. So in that condition, we call it as our whole tree, it's ready for the picking. So that is one of the physical criteria for the deciding maturity of the mango fruit. Now next one is the fruit firmness. Firmness means what? Firmness is nothing but a resistance of the flesh of commodities or the pulp of commodities to the force or pressure it is applied on that commodity. It is called as a firmness. And it is tested by most of the instrument like pressure tester or the texture analyzer. Like these instruments are used for fruit firmness is one of the useful factor for judging the maturity of the apple, then pear, peach, plum, and the apricot. These are the temperate fruits. In case of, you can use this kind of factor for deciding their maturity. The next one is the tenderness. Now these kind of physical factor, it is used for deciding maturity in case of peas and other vegetables which are delicate in nature, and that is one of the indication for deciding their maturity. Next one is the specific gravity. Specific gravity, it is quick method for judging the maturity. When suppose we are taking one commodity and it is deep into the liquid, that is, it may be water or another liquid. Suppose this commodity, it starts to float on that liquid. In that case, we are considering that it has some lower TSS or the lower specific gravity, and we said that it is immature. But when these commodities, it sink in the water, then we called it as that commodity which having higher specific gravity with the higher TSS content, and it is ultimately it is mature in nature. So that this kind of physical criteria, it is also used for judging the maturity in case of guava, apple, cherries, mango, and the bear fruits. Also, it is used for the measurement of the quality in case of potato fruits also. Then next physical criteria is the juice content. Now it is the general criteria for harvesting of the citrus family fruits like mandarin and lemon. Okay. So international standards organization had decided some minimum juice content in these commodities for their harvesting. For example, in case of citrus fruit, approximately 30% juice content should be there. In sweet orange, in the sweet orange, it should be 30%. Then in case of mandarins, it should be 33% and 35% in case of grapes. And for the lemons and limes, it should be 25%. So this criteria for juice content, it is decided by the ISO. And this is the physical criteria for deciding their maturity. Now we come to the morphological and structural criteria. Means what is the development of the structures of the fruits and vegetables during their maturity. So these are some external features. Now, in which there is the formation of cuticles on the grapes and tomatoes. Then in melons, there is the formation of netting. See here in the watermelons. Sorry, in case of musk melon, this is the musk melon, there is formation of netting on the surface of that melon. Then glossy appearance of the some of the fruits, that is, it is called as a development of wax on the different fruits like tomatoes or the apple. And these are some examples of the morphological and structural criteria. Now, next point is the computational criteria, in which computation of days and computation of their heat units. First of all, computation of days, in which we have to sum up the days of harvesting. We have to count the number of days from their bloom or the fruit set up to the maturity or up to the transplanting. Okay, from transplanting to the harvesting of that vegetable crop. So we have to sum up the number of days. In case of fruit, we have to count the days starting from their blooming up to their fruit set. And in case of vegetables, we have to count the number of days from their transplanting up to their harvesting. So you can measure in terms of days or months and the week. So this is the very common method in case of apple and pear. Then next one is the heat units. Now in this method, instead of counting days, we are measuring the how much amount of heat is received by that commodity from during their growing period. So it is measured in terms of degree days or the heat units. See here, there is the formula for measuring or to sum up the heat which is absorbed by that commodity. See, H, it is equals to T minus TL into D. So where H is nothing but a heat units, either in the degree days Then T is nothing but a mean or average monthly temperature that is calculated by taking the average of lowest and highest temperature of each day, or mean monthly weather data you will take at that temperature. Then TL is the baseline temperature and D is the number of days in that particular months. So by putting all the values of these factors, we will get the heat units or the degree days. So that will be the one of the method in order to find out the maturity stage of particular commodities. This is the trial and error method. Then next factor is the chemical factor or the chemical criteria, in which sugar content. First of all, sugar content of the ripe fruit, it can be measured with the help of instrument hydrometer or the refractometer. Here this instrument, it is directly read the percentage sugar by weight, gram sugar per 100 gram of solution. And this kind of method, it is used for the different fruits like mango, grapes, apple, pears, stone fruits and the melons. Now here in the sugar content, there are two tests are there, hydrometer sugar test and refractometer sugar test. So first we will see the hydrometer sugar test. Here it measures the specific gravity of that commodity. As we know that sugar, it is one of the main component which is affecting the specific gravity in case of ripe fruits. Therefore, we estimate the quality of sugar present by measuring the specific gravity. The term Briggs hydrometer, it is used to designate the instrument, and degree Briggs is used for the values. And this most of the hydrometers are standard at 20 degrees Celsius. So the percentage soluble solids and hydrometer reading, it is the same value as the degree Briggs. So that is the method of finding the sugar content in the commodity. Next one is the refractometer sugar test. This measures the refractive index of the solution. Means it measures the light bending property which is compared with the pure water. It measures the concentration of the dissolved substances. It measures the TSS content as percent sugar from the representative sample of that fruit and the extracted juice. This is the instruments which are used for the sugar content. One is the hydrometer, this one is the refractometer. Hydrometer, it is kept in the measuring cylinder along with that substance. This is the reading of that hydrometer which gives the specific gravity, and this one is the refractometer which gives the readings in the degree Briggs. See the inner view of your refractometer. The next chemical component is the acid content. After finding sugar content, also you can find the total acid content of the fruit and vegetables. And this acid content, it is calculated or based on the principal acid content present in that fruit or vegetables. So these kind of test, it is used for the citrus, guava, then mango, pineapple fruit, then tomato and watermelon. As we know that there are number of principal acids present in the number of commodities. On that basis, we are deciding their acid content. And that acid content, it is measured by the titration method. That titration will be taken with the NaOH solution. The next one is the TSS acid ratio. This is the expression of the relationship between the sugar and acid content of the fruits. So this test, it is mostly used for the grapes, mango, papaya and kiwi fruits, then melons. Here we are getting the ratio by obtaining the sugar content and the acid content. Whatever degree Briggs or the TSS content it is obtained in that commodity, it is divided by the total acidity of that commodity. So that will be the TSS acid ratio. The next chemical factor is the starch content. Starch content, it is also used for finding the maturity of that commodity like banana, mango, then apple and pears. Then next criteria of maturity indices is the physiological criteria. Physiological condition is related with the respiration rate and the ethylene content. Ethylene is the naturally hormone secreted by that commodity, and respiration rate, it is also one of the physiological factor. So the best peaking date, it can be decided by the measuring respiration rate at the different peaking dates. Means here you can measure the respiration rate at the different peaking dates, and what is the change will be occurs in the respiration rate. On that basis, you can calculate or you can decide the which one is the stage for harvesting of that commodity. Then next is the ethylene content. Now the maturity of the climatic fruits like mango, banana, apples, means these fruits which are gets naturally even after harvesting. So their ethylene level we have to measure, and this concentration it varies between 100 to 700 ppm. So we have to count the ethylene concentration, and on that basis we have to decide the whether it is at maturity stage or not. So this is about different maturity standards and indices of fruits and vegetables. In this chapter we have learned what is mean by maturity indices, why it is important, what are the advantages and disadvantages of proper mature harvesting, then what are the different criteria of maturity standards or the harvesting indices, in which physical criteria, visual criteria, then chemical criteria, morphological and structural criteria, and the physiological criteria we have learned. So thank you.